we are going to look at circles. Now, before we go into finding the circumference of a circle, the area of a circle, the length of an arc, and the area of a sector, we must first be familiar with the parts of the circle. Now, I'm going to briefly explain what these parts are and where to identify them in the circle, and in your own time, you're going to write the definition for each into your notebooks. So the first one, the circumference. The circumference is the distance around this circle. So this entire line that's going around the circle is called the circumference. A sector. Now, a sector, this is a sector. It's like a pizza shape. So this part here is called the minor sector, and then the rest of the circle is called the major sector. Then you have segments. Now, this is considered to be a segment of a circle, right? And we get a segment from the chord. So the chord is a line going from one part of the circumference to another part of the circumference, but it doesn't pass through the center of the circle. Then you have the arc. The arc is a part of the circumference. So how we have the sector here, then this little piece going from here to here is considered the arc. And here again you have a minor arc, and then you have a major arc. The center, you should know, is the point in the middle. The radius. The radius is from the center to any point on the circumference. So one of this line is called the radius. The two lines, they're called radii, or two radius, we call them radii, right? And the diameter is the line that goes from one point of the circumference to another point on the circumference, but it passes through the center of the circle. So these are the parts that you should know. So you have to make your own definition on them. So the first thing we're going to look at is the circumference of a circle. Now, there are two formulas to find the circumference of a circle. The first one is C is equals to pi d. Then you have C is equals to 2 pi r, where d is the diameter, r is the radius, and pi is equals to 22/7, or approximately 3.142. Now, if you're given a circle and they give you the diameter, then you use C is equals to pi d. If they give you the radius, then you use C is equals to 2 pi r. Now, with pi, in some cases, they're going to say which one to use. So they would say use pi as 22/7, or use pi as 3.142, or in some cases you would see 3.14. But if they didn't state which one to use, it's always safe to go with the fraction, which is 22/7, right? So if they didn't say use either one, go with the 22/7. So here you have a circle, and they give you a length there which is 7 cm. Now remember I said that the radius is from the center to any point on the circumference. So this question, they gave you the radius. So the formula we have to use in this case is C is equals to 2 pi r. So C is equals to 2 multiplied by pi, which is 22/7, multiplied by r, which is 7. So we put them over 1, and then we multiply. Or if we can cancel out, we cancel out. In this case, we could cancel out this, and this would go, right? So 2 times 22 times 1 is going to give me 44. And 1 times 1 times 1 is going to give me 1. So C is equals to 44 cm. The circumference, when you find the circumference of a circle, it's like finding the perimeter of the circle, which is the distance around the shape. So this is one way when you're given, this is the way you work when you're given the radius. in this example, you're given the diameter in this case, right? So the formula we have to use is C is equals to pi d. C is equals to 22 over 7 times the diameter, which is 12. We make this into a fraction, we put it over 1. So C is equals to, we multiply our numerators, and that will give me 264. And then we multiply our denominator. 7 times 1 is 7. And then we divide. So my answer would be 37.71 cm. The area of a circle. To find the area of a circle, the formula is A is equals to pi r squared, where pi is 22 over 7, or approximately 3.142, and r is the radius. Now, in this case, since we're working with the radius, then we look for the radius. So if you're given a question and they decide to give you this entire length, which we know is the diameter, and let's say they give you as 12 cm, we know that the radius is the diameter divided by 2. So the diameter is 12 divided by 2, and that would give me 6 cm. So if they give you the diameter, you have to go and find what is the radius. But if they give you the radius, then it's straightforward, and you just plug the radius into the formula. So let's look at an example. You have a circle here, and they gave you the radius as being 9 cm. So the formula is A is equals to pi r squared. A is equals to 22 over 7, which is pi, multiplied by the radius square. Now that means this part here, r, means r multiplied by r. So that is the radius multiplied by the radius. So we know that the radius is 9, so we have to multiply it 2 times, right? Then we make these into fractions by putting them over 1. A is equal, so we multiply our numerators, which would be 22 times 9 times 9, and that's going to give me 1782 divided by 7 times 1 times 1 is 7. So A is equals to, and then you divide it by 7, and you're going to get 254.57 cm squared. I forgot to put in the cm and the cm there, so we end up with our unit cm squared. So let's look at the length of an arc. The formula to find the length of an arc is L is equals to 2 pi r theta over 360. Now theta is the angle that is given. So when you're finding the length of an arc, you have to be given an angle here. And the area of the sector of a circle, A is equals to pi r squared theta over 360. Again, theta would represent whatever angle is given to you. You should already know that pi is 22 over 7, or approximately 3.142. And r is the radius, the length of an arc. So the formula is L is equals to 2 pi r theta over 360. Looking at our circle, theta would be the angle, which is 45 degrees, and r would be the radius, which is 4 cm. So let's substitute into our formula. We have L is equals to 2 multiplied by pi, which is 22 over 7, multiplied by r, which is 4, multiplied by theta over 360, which is 45 over 360. We make these two into fractions, we put them over 1. We multiply all our numerators, and that would be 2 times 22 times 4 times 45, and that's going to give me 7920. And then we multiply all our denominators, which is 1 times 7 times 1 times 36, which is basically 7 times 360. and that's going to give me 25, 20 divided to 79, 20 divided by 25, 20, and that's going to give me 3.14 cm, and this is the length of the arc, which would be this piece here. So from there to there is 3.14 cm. Now let's find the area of the same circle, but we're finding the area of the sector of that circle, right? So the area we're trying to find would be this part, right? So the formula is A is equals to pi r squared theta over 360. So A is equals to pi, which is 22 over 7, multiplied by r squared, which is r multiplied by r. That would be 4 multiplied by 4, then times theta over 360. Theta now is same 45 over 360. We put this over 1 and we put this over 1. A is equals to, we multiply all our denominator. That's going to be 22 times 4 times 4 times 45. And that's going to give me 15,840 divided by the denominators, which is 7 times 360. And that's going to give me 25, 20. So the area is, you divide the 2, 15,840 divided by 25, 20, and that's going to give me 6.29 cm squared, because we're working with area. That's how you find the area of a sector.